Okay, so now we are going to talk about your discovery calls or your sales calls, your connection calls, whatever you would like to call them within your business. There's lots of different terms out for them, but basically they are the same thing. They have the same purpose. We want to assess the fit, right? Are you going to be a great fit for this client? Is this client a good fit for you? And we want to build those client relationships. Now, not everyone is going to have a call as part of their client journey. But if you do, it's really important for you to take the time to think through how this call is going to go, because you want to be the one to lead this, okay? Whether you are a service provider or a coach or an agency, you are directing the call and the client is going to go along with you, right? We are the business owner and they're making the investment in us. So we need to show our leadership, and this is a great opportunity for you to do so. So it's pretty basic, and some of this stuff you probably already have in your flow, but we want to go through and make sure we have an outline and that we are taking this seriously and we're not just flying by the seat of our pants, right? We don't want to end the call and be like, oh, I forgot this piece, or I should have asked this, right? So take time before any call to review the client's business and understand what they do, what are their goals. And we do have some upcoming lessons on the assessment that you are going to, or the questionnaire that you are going to send before this call happens. So at this point, you have reviewed your questionnaire that they've submitted. And in my business, if I do have a questionnaire that goes out, which I only have that for my launch agency, but if it does go out, they are required to submit this before they can move on to this step, right? Because I want to understand who they are. I want to be able to tailor this discussion based on their needs. So we're going to start off with, an introduction, thank them for taking the time to speak with you today, because they have taken time. You've taken time, but they've taken time. And then we're going to go over the purpose of the call. We want to, maybe recap a couple of things that we've seen. And so maybe we understand the purpose of this call based on the questionnaire they filled out, but we want to let them know why we are meeting today. And then we're going to set expectations, right? We're going to go over your goals or your current challenges, how we can help you, what we provide, right? How does our business work? And so we want to set those expectations in the very beginning. And I also like to let them know if it's a 30-minute call. We have 30 minutes together today, and this is what we're going to go over, just so they understand, and they understand that's a boundary we have, because it's easy to get on these calls, talk to people for an hour and a half, provide all this value, and now we're stressed out because that's an extra hour that we weren't planning within our day, right? Or maybe our team is now messaging us because they only expected us to be on a 30-minute call. Whatever that looks like, when we set those expectations in the very beginning. And I also recommend this for any kind of call. Even if someone has already signed with you, always let them know in the beginning how long a call is going to be. From here, we're going to ask the client, can you tell me a little bit more about yourself and your business? And now this is not because we didn't read the questionnaire, because they probably have answered some of this, but we want to get to know them. We want to understand their personality. How do they treat people? What is their vision? Maybe they want to expand on some stuff that they've already provided for us. And this will also give us a little bit more context as we ask questions throughout this call. From here, we want to understand their current situation. Now, here is also when you can pull stuff in from the questionnaire. We can ask more about something that they have submitted within the questionnaire to get more clarity, to understand the background around it. But we want to know, why did they seek our services? Why are they curious about working with us? And then what are the key aspects of their business, right? How is that related to the challenges that they're facing? Maybe, if you're a health and fitness coach, they've tried so many things, right? They know what their goal is. Maybe they think they know their issue, but they just tried so many things and they don't know what's going to work for them. Or if it's a business, right? And they're struggling with the right, finding the right team. And they keep hiring people and the people keep leaving or the people don't do their work, right? This is how we can get more insight and whether we can serve them, whether it's a good fit. You'll see some red flags come out here, and honor yourself by acknowledging those red flags and not just working with anyone, right? Discovery calls are amazing. So if you're going to do any type of one-on-one work, whether you're a service provider, whether you're a coach, if there are red flags during this process, I highly encourage you to reflect on those, because you're going to be spending a good amount of time with this person. And if they are you're like, oh, I've had a client like this before, this is not my champagne client, I just don't know if I want to work with them, or they say some things that make you cringe, be aware of that, right? Honor yourself through this process. And then you can go into talking about pain points. And maybe they've already talked about these in the questionnaire, but you can start off with that. Can you tell me more about this? And say what it is. Or if they really didn't elaborate or put anything in the questionnaire, then you start prompting them to talk about what the pain points are within your business. Because at the end, when you talk about your services, this is going to allow you to speak exactly to or directly to those pain points. Now, depending on what type of service you are offering, you can go into the scope, right? Discuss the scope of working together, discuss the scope of the project. What exactly are they looking for? And then compare that to what you actually provide, okay? And sometimes you have flexibility in this, and maybe it's going to change the proposal that you send out. And if you're willing to do that and you have the time and the capacity, that's great. But you really want to get clear on this call with what it would look like working together. What's the timeline, or what are all the pieces that are going to be included? For example, in my agency, I'm very clear with how many social media posts we write, how many emails we write, what kind of results they can expect. But I'm also clear with them, they have to show up. Their responsibility is to engage with their community, engage with their audience. If they show up to a live event and they don't put on a great training, unfortunately, that is not on my team, right? Because people are not trusting them when they speak to them. They don't see the knowledge that they're providing them, right? So we have to make sure we don't just say, it's great, you're going to achieve XYZ from working with me, I can guarantee it. And maybe you can, but just be very careful with that, because we want to be clear in this. It's going to protect you, your team, and your client if you do this. And then you're going to have pricing discussions. You're going to talk about what their budget is, what your services cost, and maybe one package is better for them than another. What is included in this package? Now, I encourage you here is to be realistic. Let's say you have 3 packages and they're like, I can take the top package, but if they really don't need that, and you tell them that, say, you can take this package, but really, I think you only need this package. It's cheaper. It provides everything that you've communicated to me that you wanted. If you do want more, we can always upgrade you later. That's going to build so much trust, because they're going to realize they're more than just money to you. So honor them in that experience. In the same situation, they might say, I want the bottom package. My budget is so low. I need all this stuff, but I can only afford XYZ. That is okay too, as long as that we make sure they truly understand all these things you're asking for, we cannot provide at this package level. If you want all these things, it is this cost. However, we can work with you at this rate, but here's what you're going to get, and here's what you're going to need to do on your own. So maybe your results aren't going to be the same because, we're only providing XYZ within that. And then if they are not the CEO, if you are having a call with maybe a business partner or an online business manager, whatever it might be, then we do want to ask them, who is going to help you make this decision? What does the decision process look like? Is there a timeline for the decision process? Just so I know when I can follow up with you again. Sometimes it's husbands or wives who also have a say within the investment. Especially if it's a larger investment, it's coming out of the family funds. So it's just good for us to understand that, and it can help direct our follow-up post-discovery call. So we're going to outline the path moving forward, whether they need to go think about it, whether they're ready to sign up, and talk about the next steps and make it very clear. Okay, so if you're now going to send them a proposal, you're going to send them a link, whatever it is that you're going to do, make it very clear. Maybe it's the contract, right? They're going to pay their invoice. They can expect email with that. It'll have the contract link included. Whatever is happening next, be very clear about what that is and when it's going to happen. Maybe it's happening tomorrow because your team has to put together that contract. They have to set up a recurrent invoice. That's fine, as long as we are very clear with the expectations. Yesterday, we talked about this. We want to be clear with our boundaries. When are our office hours? How soon can they expect a response to us? Do we not work the weekends, right? Like my team doesn't work Friday through Sunday. So anytime I talk to someone, I'm very clear about that. So they understand, oh, Friday, I won't hear from Ray's team. I'll hear from them on Monday. And we also include this in all of our onboarding because, again, we want to make sure they see it. Everyone doesn't open every single email. So we provided the next steps. We're going to confirm what that follow-up looks like. And then we're gonna, wrap it up. Ask them if they have any final questions. If it seems like if they haven't made that final decision, be like, let me know if there's anything that I can explain more to you. Feel free to reach out to me via email or Voxer or whatever that is, and we can talk through a little bit more of this stuff. That's fine. They made the decision, most likely you won't need that kind of follow-up unless, you're saying, while you receive this, if you have any questions about the invoice, the contract, feel free to reach out to me. I'm here to help. Again, maybe it's your team is off Friday through Sunday. So if you email me today, I won't get back to you on Monday, but I promise I will get back to you. Whatever that looks like for you. Okay. Then we're gonna thank them for their time. We appreciated learning more about their business, about them, what kind of services they're looking for. Thank them for, choosing you to be the one they're speaking to about XYZ, right? We want to honor them in that decision too, because this was an investment in time. So what I want you to do from here is to go ahead and look, if you do have a discovery call or a sales call within your model, outline what this call looks like. What information do you need before you go on a call? And if there's anything your team needs to do, make sure that you have that in your process as well. So the more that we can think through this call, the more that we can practice what a discovery call or a sales call looks like, even if you're doing a mock on with a team, even if you just jump on to Zoom and it's just you on Zoom and you're just practicing some of these pieces of a discovery call, you're going to show up more confident when you do these. Now, I always say action creates confidence and confidence creates cash. So I do encourage you, if you are not doing a lot of discovery calls or sales calls and you want to implement that within your business, practice ahead of time. And there's different tricks that you can do. Some people, I like to listen to, upbeat music before a call. You can dance around, you can do power poses. Some people put a pin in their mouth and anyway, there's lots of things that you can do to prepare yourself for a call so that you are in control, you feel confident, and you're going to show up as your best self, because that is how we want to show up on a call. Just like if we're doing a live event, we want to present ourselves as leaders, as business owners who can provide the solutions that our clients are looking for. So if you have any questions as you are outlining your process for your discovery call, your sales call flow, please feel free to reach out to me on Voxer during your specific Voxer day. Or if there is a different type of sales call script that you would like, we do have lots of them. Feel free to submit that request form that you'll find in the welcome module. So the next step, we're going to go over those questionnaires. So once you work through this, we will cover that, and that will be your next step. Thanks, guys.